Have you ever faced disrespect and wondered if silence could be your most powerful response? When words fail, silence speaks volumes. It shows strength, control, and self-respect. In this audiobook, Your Silence After the Disrespect is Killing Them, you'll discover why staying quiet doesn't make you weak. It makes you unshakable. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's the loudest statement you can make. Learn how to harness this power to rise above negativity and let your silence do the talking. Chapter 1. The Power of Silence. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, a lack of confidence, or an inability to respond. But silence is, in fact, one of the most powerful tools you can possess. When you choose not to respond to negativity, disrespect, or provocation, you take control of the situation. Silence creates space, forcing the other person to reflect on their actions while you maintain your dignity. It's a quiet strength that speaks louder than words, showing that you're above petty reactions. One of the most impactful aspects of silence is that it shifts power dynamics. When someone disrespects you, they expect an emotional reaction. They thrive on your anger, frustration, or hurt because it validates their actions. However, when you stay silent, you deny them that satisfaction. Your silence shows that you won't engage on their level. It's a way of saying, your words or actions don't control me. In doing so, you maintain your composure and leave them unsettled, wondering what you're truly thinking. Silence also allows you to reflect before reacting. In moments of anger or frustration, it's easy to say something you might regret later. But by staying silent, you give yourself time to process your emotions and decide how to handle the situation wisely. This pause helps you avoid unnecessary conflict and ensures that your responses, if any, are thoughtful and purposeful. Silence becomes your shield, protecting you from making impulsive decisions in the heat of the moment. Another reason silence is so powerful is that it forces others to confront themselves. When you don't react, the person who disrespected you is left with their own thoughts. Without your response to distract them, they're forced to reflect on their behavior. Silence can make them feel uncomfortable, guilty, or even regretful. It's a subtle way of holding them accountable without saying a word. Over time, your silence can teach them that their actions have consequences, even if those consequences aren't immediately visible. In a world where everyone feels the need to have the last word, silence sets you apart. It shows self-discipline, confidence, and emotional intelligence. People who know the power of silence understand that not every situation requires a response. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to walk away, let your actions speak for themselves, and focus on your peace of mind. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring the issue. It means you're choosing to rise above it and preserve your energy for what truly matters. Lastly, silence can be transformative for you. It teaches patience, mindfulness, and self-control. In choosing silence, you prioritize your inner peace over external chaos. You learn that your value isn't determined by how loudly you defend yourself, but by how confidently you carry yourself. Over time, the power of silence becomes a part of who you are, a strength that not only protects you, but also inspires others to handle life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Silence, when wielded wisely, is one of the greatest tools for personal empowerment. Chapter 2. Emotional control is your superpower. Emotions are powerful, and when harnessed effectively, they can drive us toward incredible achievements. However, when emotions control us instead of the other way around, they can lead to rash decisions, conflicts, and unnecessary stress. Emotional control is not about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them, managing them, and using them to your advantage. It's the foundation of resilience and one of the greatest superpowers you can develop. At the heart of emotional control is self-awareness. Before you can manage your emotions, you need to recognize them. Pay attention to how you feel in moments of stress, disrespect, or frustration. Is your heart racing? Are you clenching your fists? These physical and mental cues are signals that your emotions are taking charge. By becoming aware of these moments, you can pause, take a step back, and decide how you want to respond, instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions. One of the biggest challenges to emotional control is reacting impulsively, especially when someone disrespects or provokes you. It's natural to feel the urge to defend yourself or lash out, but this often escalates the situation and leaves you feeling drained. Instead, emotional control allows you to take a deep breath, process the situation, and respond with calm and clarity, or choose not to respond at all. This ability to pause and reflect is what sets emotionally strong people apart. Emotional control also gives you the power to shift the energy in any interaction. When someone tries to upset you, they're expecting you to meet their negativity with more negativity, but when you remain calm and composed, it disarms them. Your calmness can create a ripple effect, lowering the tension in the room and preventing the situation from spiraling out of control. In this way, emotional control doesn't just protect your peace, it can also positively influence those around you. Another aspect of emotional control is learning to detach from external validation. Often, we let other people's opinions or actions affect how we feel about ourselves. But when you master emotional control, you realize that your worth isn't determined by how others treat you. Whether someone praises you or criticizes you, your sense of self remains steady. This detachment gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your goals, and your inner peace. Developing emotional control takes practice, but the rewards are life-changing. Start with small steps, like practicing mindfulness or journaling about your feelings. Over time, you'll notice that you're less reactive and more intentional in your responses. You'll feel a sense of empowerment, knowing that no one can dictate your emotions except you. Emotional control isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable in the face of life's challenges. When you master this superpower, you'll find that nothing and no one can disturb your peace. Chapter 3. Why retaliation weakens you. Retaliation might feel satisfying in the moment, but its impact is often more damaging than beneficial. When someone disrespects or wrongs you, your immediate instinct might be to strike back, to defend your pride, or to teach them a lesson. However, this reaction can end up draining your energy, shifting your focus from your goals, and even giving power to those who sought to harm you in the first place. Understanding why retaliation weakens you is key to mastering emotional and mental strength. The first reason retaliation weakens you is that it pulls you into a negative cycle. When you retaliate, you're engaging in the same behavior that hurt you. Instead of rising above the situation, you sink to their level, which only perpetuates the negativity. Worse, it reinforces the behavior of the person who provoked you, as they now have a reason to continue the conflict. Retaliation rarely resolves anything. It often escalates tensions and leaves you stuck in a loop of anger and frustration. Retaliation also shifts the focus from your priorities to theirs. Instead of putting your energy into personal growth, success, or meaningful goals, you waste it on proving a point to someone who may not even matter in the grand scheme of your life. Every moment spent plotting revenge or reacting to disrespect is a moment lost from building your dreams and pursuing what truly fulfills you. Retaliation is a distraction, and by giving into it, you let someone else control your time and energy. Another reason retaliation weakens you is that it undermines your self-control. True strength comes from being able to manage your emotions and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. When you retaliate, you allow someone else to dictate your behavior. They provoke you, and you react, essentially giving them the power to control your actions. By choosing not to retaliate, you maintain your composure, protect your peace, and prove that your actions are driven by your values, not someone else's provocation. Retaliation can also damage your reputation and relationships. When you react out of anger or spite, you may say or do things that you later regret. These actions can harm your credibility, strain your relationships, and make others view you as volatile or reactive. In contrast, responding with grace and dignity, even in the face of disrespect, earns you respect and admiration. People are more likely to trust and look up to someone who remains calm under pressure rather than someone who reacts impulsively. Lastly, retaliation often leaves you feeling empty. While it might feel good in the heat of the moment, the satisfaction is fleeting. Afterward, you may find yourself questioning whether it was worth it. Retaliation rarely brings closure or peace. Instead, it often amplifies feelings of anger, regret, or disappointment. True peace comes not from fighting back, but from walking away, knowing that you have the strength to focus on your growth and not on petty conflicts. When you choose not to retaliate, you reclaim your power. You demonstrate that you are not easily shaken, that your focus is unyielding, and that you are guided by purpose, not by the actions of others. Retaliation weakens you because it ties you to the negativity of the past. Letting go and rising above strengthens you because it frees you to move forward. In silence and composure, you find the ultimate form of victory, one that cannot be touched by those who sought to bring you down. Chapter 4. Silence as a statement of strength. Silence is one of the most underestimated tools of power. In a world where people rush to speak, explain, and defend themselves, silence can cut through the noise and leave a profound impact. When used wisely, silence is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a bold and deliberate statement of strength. It communicates confidence, self-control, and an understanding of your own worth without the need for validation or explanation. Silence demonstrates that you are not easily provoked. In moments of disrespect or conflict, silence shows that you refuse to engage in pointless arguments or waste your energy on those who do not deserve it. By staying silent, you retain control over the situation, refusing to give others the satisfaction of a reaction. It's a way of saying, your words or actions don't define me, and I won't lower myself to your level. This quiet confidence often has more impact than any words could. Choosing silence also sends a powerful message that you are secure in yourself. When you don't feel the need to respond to every insult or criticism, you communicate that your value is not tied to anyone else's opinion. People who are secure in their self-worth don't need to defend themselves or prove a point. They simply live their truth. This unshakable sense of self can be intimidating to others, especially those who seek to undermine or provoke you. Silence allows you to observe and assess. In situations of conflict or tension, staying silent gives you the upper hand by allowing you to analyze what's happening without the cloud of emotion. While others may act impulsively, you remain calm and strategic, thinking several steps ahead. This level-headed approach often leads to better decisions and a stronger position in the long run. Silence gives you time to process, reflect, and respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Another reason silence is powerful is that it disrupts expectations. People who provoke or disrespect you often anticipate a reaction, anger, defensiveness, or an argument. When you remain silent, you deny them what they're looking for, throwing them off balance. Your lack of response forces them to confront their own actions without the distraction of a counter-argument. Silence can make people question themselves and their behavior more effectively than any words ever could. Silence can also be a way to assert boundaries without confrontation. By refusing to engage with toxic individuals or situations, you make it clear that you will not tolerate negativity in your life. This act of silence is not passive. It's an intentional choice to protect your peace and prioritize your well-being. It's a way of standing up for yourself without unnecessary conflict, showing that your time and energy are too valuable to be wasted. In professional or competitive settings, silence can convey authority and confidence. When you don't feel the need to fill every gap in conversation or over-explain your position, you exude a sense of power and control. Leaders often use silence to command attention and respect, letting their actions speak louder than words. By mastering the art of silence, you position yourself as someone who doesn't need to prove their worth. It's evident in how you carry yourself. Silence is also a tool for maintaining mystery. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, staying silent about your plans, thoughts, or feelings creates intrigue. When people can't predict or fully understand you, they are more likely to respect or even fear you. Silence makes you less predictable and more enigmatic, giving you an edge in both personal and professional relationships. Practicing silence also builds your inner strength. It takes courage and discipline to hold your tongue, especially when emotions are running high. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you reinforce your ability to stay in control of your emotions. This self-control is a key element of inner strength, enabling you to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Lastly, silence is a pathway to inner peace. Engaging in conflict or arguments often leaves you feeling drained and unsettled. Silence, on the other hand, preserves your energy and protects your mental and emotional well-being. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, your growth, goals, and happiness, without being weighed down by negativity or distractions. In the end, silence is not just the absence of words. It's a statement, a boundary, and a strategy. It's a declaration of strength that shows the world you are in control of yourself and your destiny. When you use silence with intention, it becomes one of your greatest tools for asserting your power, maintaining your peace, and achieving your goals. Chapter 5. Building Boundaries Without Words. Boundaries are essential for protecting your energy, time, and emotional well-being. While many believe boundaries require explanations, ultimatums, or lengthy discussions, the most powerful boundaries are often established without saying a word. Actions, silence, and consistency can create clear lines that others respect, even without verbal declarations. Building boundaries without words is a quiet but firm way to take control of your space and assert your self-worth. The first step to creating non-verbal boundaries is understanding your limits. Reflect on what you're willing to tolerate and what crosses the line for you. Knowing your boundaries starts internally, being honest with yourself about what feels right and what doesn't. Once you have clarity about your needs, your actions will naturally align with them, making your boundaries evident without needing to voice them explicitly. Non-verbal boundaries often begin with physical space. How you position yourself, where you choose to spend your time, and who you allow into your personal sphere send clear messages. For instance, stepping back when someone is too invasive or choosing not to engage in toxic environments communicates that you value your personal space. These actions don't require words, but they make it clear that you prioritize your comfort and well-being. Consistency in behavior is a cornerstone of silent boundary setting. When you repeatedly act in alignment with your values and limits, people quickly learn what to expect from you. For example, If you consistently decline invitations to situations that drain your energy or avoid engaging in gossip, others will understand where you stand. Over time, your silence becomes a clear and respected boundary. Another powerful way to build boundaries without words is by mastering the art of saying no through actions. You don't always need to explain your reasons for not participating in something. Simply stepping away, declining an invitation, or redirecting a conversation can create a firm boundary. Actions often speak louder than words, and your ability to stand firm in your decisions shows strength and self-respect. Non-verbal boundaries also rely on emotional detachment. When you refuse to react to manipulation, criticism, or disrespect, you show that your emotional well-being isn't dependent on others' behavior. This detachment isn't about shutting off your emotions, but about protecting your inner peace. By choosing not to engage, you signal that certain behaviors won't elicit a response, discouraging others from overstepping your boundaries. Time management is another effective way to establish boundaries without words. How you allocate your time reflects your priorities. If someone continuously demands your time, but you remain unavailable or focused on your goals, they will understand that your time is not theirs to control. By being deliberate about where and how you spend your time, you send a clear message about your boundaries. Eye contact and body language play a subtle but significant role in boundary setting. A firm but calm gaze, a confident posture, or a slight shake of the head can speak volumes. These nonverbal cues show that you are grounded in your stance without needing to explain or justify yourself. Your presence and demeanor alone can create a boundary that commands respect. Silence can be one of the most effective tools for establishing boundaries. When faced with disrespect or attempts to cross your limits, refusing to respond sends a powerful message. Silence says, "I won't engage with this behavior," and it deprives the other person of the reaction they may be seeking. Over time, this quiet resistance teaches others to respect your space and choices. Creating distance is another non-verbal way to build boundaries. If someone consistently drains your energy or disrespects your limits, gradually spending less time around them sends a clear message. Distance doesn't need to be announced. It can be practiced subtly by prioritizing other relationships, activities, or goals. This quiet withdrawal shows that you value your peace more than their approval. Lastly, leading by example can help establish boundaries without confrontation. When you treat yourself with respect and prioritize your well-being, others will notice. For instance, if you demonstrate self-care by stepping away from toxic environments or maintaining a positive focus, others are less likely to try to disrupt your balance. Your actions set the tone for how you expect to be treated, encouraging others to follow suit. In essence, building boundaries without words is about embodying self-respect and aligning your actions with your values. It's a subtle but powerful way to protect your energy and maintain control over your life. Through silence, consistency, and deliberate action, you teach others how to treat you without ever needing to say a word. These unspoken boundaries preserve your peace, strengthen your confidence, and ensure that your relationships are built on mutual respect. Chapter 6. Turning disrespect into personal growth. Disrespect can sting, often leaving you feeling diminished or undervalued. However, when approached with the right mindset, moments of disrespect can become powerful catalysts for personal growth. Instead of letting these experiences drag you down, you can use them as opportunities to strengthen your character, redefine your boundaries, and push yourself toward becoming a better version of yourself. The first step in turning disrespect into personal growth is reframing your perspective. Instead of viewing disrespect as an attack on your worth, see it as a reflection of the other person's character, not your own. This shift in mindset helps you detach emotionally, making it easier to analyze the situation objectively. When you no longer take disrespect personally, you free yourself from the emotional weight it might otherwise carry, allowing you to respond with clarity and strength. Disrespect often reveals areas where you can grow emotionally. For example, it may highlight insecurities or triggers you haven't fully addressed. Use these moments as opportunities for self-reflection. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? And what can I learn about myself from this? By identifying these emotional responses, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself, which can lead to greater emotional resilience and self-awareness. One of the most powerful ways to grow from disrespect is by practicing emotional control. It's natural to want to retaliate or defend yourself in the heat of the moment, but reacting impulsively often gives the disrespectful person power over you. Instead, choose to remain calm and composed. This not only preserves your dignity, but also strengthens your ability to stay in control, even in challenging situations. Over time, this emotional discipline becomes a core aspect of your personal growth. Disrespect can also motivate you to raise your standards. When someone treats you poorly, it's a reminder to evaluate the relationships, environments, and habits in your life. Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift and respect you? Are you setting clear boundaries to protect your energy? Use these moments to make adjustments that align with the life you deserve. Growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves you, and disrespect can be the nudge you need to make those changes. Another way to turn disrespect into growth is by using it as fuel for self-improvement. Instead of dwelling on the hurt, channel that energy into something constructive. Whether it's pursuing a goal, learning a new skill, or enhancing your emotional intelligence, let the experience motivate you to become stronger and more capable. Each time you grow in response to disrespect, you prove to yourself that no one's opinion or actions can define your worth. Moments of disrespect can also teach you valuable lessons about communication and conflict resolution. Reflect on how you handled the situation and consider what you might do differently in the future. Could you have communicated your boundaries more clearly? Did you remain calm and composed? By analyzing these interactions, you develop the skills needed to navigate difficult situations with grace and confidence. Building resilience is another key aspect of transforming disrespect into personal growth. Life will inevitably bring challenges, and disrespect is just one of them. When you learn to bounce back from these experiences, you become more resilient in the face of adversity. Each time you rise above disrespect, you build a stronger foundation for handling future obstacles, making you more unshakable in your journey toward success. Finally, turning disrespect into growth involves recognizing your inherent worth and refusing to let others diminish it. No matter how someone treats you, their actions don't define your value. By standing tall in the face of disrespect, you affirm your self-worth and set an example for others. This self-assurance is a testament to your growth, showing that you've risen above the negativity and chosen to prioritize your peace and progress. In the end, disrespect can either be a roadblock or a stepping stone. It's up to you to decide. By choosing to grow from these experiences, you reclaim your power and use it to fuel your journey towards self-improvement and strength. The lessons you learn along the way will not only fortify your character, but also inspire others to do the same. Disrespect may sting, but with the right mindset, it becomes an opportunity for transformation. Chapter 7. The Art of Non-Reaction. The art of non-reaction is one of the most powerful tools you can cultivate to protect your peace and maintain control in any situation. It's not about passivity or weakness. It's about choosing to respond with wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. In a world where emotions often run high, mastering non-reaction sets you apart as someone who values their energy and refuses to be controlled by the actions of others. Non-reaction begins with understanding that not everything requires a response. When someone disrespects or provokes you, their goal is often to elicit a reaction. By choosing not to react, you deny them the satisfaction of influencing your emotions. This silence speaks volumes, conveying a message of strength and self-control. It's a reminder that you are the one in charge of your feelings, not anyone else. Practicing non-reaction doesn't mean ignoring problems or allowing bad behavior to persist. Instead, it's about pausing and assessing the situation before deciding how, or even if, you should respond. This pause is where your power lies. It gives you the space to think clearly, weigh your options, and choose a course of action that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Non-reaction is not about avoidance, it's about intention. One of the keys to non-reaction is emotional detachment. When you detach emotionally, you stop taking things personally. You realize that other people's actions are a reflection of them, not you. This perspective allows you to view situations objectively and respond from a place of calm rather than from a place of hurt or anger. Emotional detachment doesn't make you cold or indifferent, it makes you wise. Non-reaction also requires self-discipline. It's natural to want to defend yourself or retaliate when provoked, but reacting impulsively often leads to regret. By exercising discipline, you train yourself to stay calm under pressure, no matter what's happening around you. This self-control strengthens your resilience, making you less vulnerable to the negativity of others and more focused on your own growth. Silence, as a form of non-reaction, can be incredibly powerful. When words are not exchanged, your silence becomes a statement of strength. It communicates that you are above the pettiness of the moment and that your energy is too valuable to waste on negativity. Silence often forces others to reflect on their actions, and it leaves no room for escalation. In this way, non-reaction becomes a tool for de-escalation and self-respect. Non-reaction doesn't mean bottling up your emotions or suppressing your feelings. It's important to acknowledge how you feel, process those emotions, and release them in a healthy way. Journaling, meditating, or talking to a trusted confidant can help you work through your feelings without letting them spill out in the heat of the moment. This internal processing is a critical part of mastering non-reaction. The art of non-reaction also strengthens your presence. When you are non-reactive, you exude a sense of calm and control that others notice. People are drawn to those who can maintain composure under pressure, as it signals confidence and inner strength. This presence not only commands respect, but also inspires others to follow your example. Non-reaction protects your mental energy. When you react impulsively to every slight or provocation, you deplete your emotional reserves and distract yourself from what truly matters. By choosing non-reaction, you conserve your energy for the things that deserve your attention and focus. This practice allows you to channel your energy into productive, meaningful pursuits, rather than wasting it on negativity. Learning to master non-reaction takes time and practice. Start small by observing your reactions in everyday situations. Notice when you feel triggered and resist the urge to respond immediately. With each instance, you'll build your capacity for non-reaction and strengthen your emotional resilience. Over time, this skill will become second nature, empowering you to navigate even the most challenging circumstances with grace. In mastering the art of non-reaction, you reclaim your power. You stop letting others dictate your emotions or control your behavior. Instead, you become the architect of your responses, guided by wisdom and self-awareness. Non-reaction is not about silence for the sake of silence. It's about choosing peace, clarity, and strength over chaos, confusion, and weakness. It's a skill that will not only elevate your life, but also inspire those around you to do the same. Chapter 8. When to speak and when to stay silent. Mastering the balance between speaking and staying silent is one of the most important life skills you can develop. Knowing when to speak ensures your voice is heard and respected, while knowing when to stay silent helps you preserve your energy and maintain your dignity. This chapter explores the delicate art of discernment, understanding when your words will add value and when silence will be more powerful. The first step in this balance is understanding the impact of your words. Words carry weight, and once spoken, they cannot be taken back. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this necessary? Will this add to the situation, or will it escalate tension? Silence, in contrast, is often the wiser choice when emotions are running high. In moments of conflict or provocation, staying silent gives you the time to process your emotions and respond with intention, rather than reacting impulsively. Speaking becomes essential when you need to set boundaries or stand up for your values. Silence in such moments may be mistaken for acceptance or weakness. For example, if someone crosses a line or disrespects your boundaries, your words can assert your stance and ensure clarity. Speaking in these instances isn't about confrontation, it's about making your position known in a firm but respectful way. The key is to speak calmly and with purpose, ensuring your message is clear. On the other hand, silence can be a powerful tool when dealing with disrespect or unnecessary criticism. Not every insult deserves a response, and not every argument needs your participation. By staying silent, you send a clear message that their negativity is not worth your energy. Silence in these moments shows strength and control, as it demonstrates that you are not easily provoked or swayed by the opinions of others. Timing is everything. Speaking at the wrong moment can undermine your message, while silence at the right moment can command respect. For instance, if someone is venting their frustration, jumping in with your opinions may escalate the situation. Waiting for the right moment to speak, after emotions have cooled, ensures that your words are heard and understood. Timing allows you to communicate effectively, avoiding unnecessary tension or misunderstanding. Listening plays a crucial role in deciding whether to speak or stay silent. When you actively listen to what's being said, you gain insight into the emotions and motivations of others. This understanding helps you determine whether your words will help or hinder the conversation. Often, silence allows you to absorb information and respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. Silence is also a form of observation. In situations where you're unsure of the dynamics or intentions of others, staying silent allows you to assess the environment. By observing before speaking, you gain a clearer picture of the situation, enabling you to choose your words wisely. Observation helps you avoid unnecessary conflicts and ensures that your voice is used effectively. In professional settings, the ability to discern when to speak and when to stay silent can enhance your credibility. Speaking up with confidence when you have valuable input demonstrates leadership and competence. Conversely, knowing when to stay silent, such as during heated debates or when someone else is speaking, shows respect and emotional intelligence. This balance fosters trust and respect among colleagues and peers. Staying silent can also amplify the power of your words when you do speak. If you are known for speaking only when necessary, your words carry more weight. People pay closer attention because they know you don't speak just for the sake of speaking. This selective use of your voice ensures that your contributions are meaningful and impactful. There are times, however, when silence can be misinterpreted. Prolonged silence in situations where your input is expected may come across as disengagement or indifference. In such cases, it's important to find the courage to speak up, even if it feels uncomfortable. Silence is powerful, but it should never be used to avoid responsibility or accountability. Finally, the decision to speak or stay silent should align with your values and long-term goals. Ask yourself, will speaking up serve my purpose? Will staying silent protect my peace? When you align your actions with your priorities, you gain clarity and confidence in your decisions. Whether you choose to speak or remain silent, your choice will reflect your wisdom and self-awareness. Learning when to speak and when to stay silent is a lifelong journey of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. It's not about being silent all the time or speaking endlessly. It's about using both tools with intention and purpose. As you master this balance, you'll find that your relationships, interactions, and personal peace will flourish. This skill will not only help you navigate life's challenges, but also empower you to lead with strength, grace, and wisdom. Thank you for listening to Your Silence After the Disrespect is Killing Them. Remember, silence is not weakness, it's power. It shows restraint, dignity, and unshakable self-control. When faced with disrespect, your silence can become the loudest voice in the room, commanding respect without uttering a word. As you move forward, keep this in mind. Your energy is precious, and not every battle deserves your attention. Let your silence protect your peace and amplify your strength. Use it wisely, and you'll not only rise above the noise, but also inspire others with your quiet confidence. The next time disrespect comes your way, let your silence do the talking, and watch how powerful you truly become.